all of a sudden?
I know that you spoke very much about the deals, and I want to know the challenges.
The challenges?
Yes.
Well, there are several challenges. One challenge is, of course, we need to see the real implementation of this project, which I think that they will happen. But of course, you need to see how what the impact is of all these programs and projects. And the other challenge is, of course, on the Egyptian side, there are a series of reform efforts that have been announced. So we need to see that the implementation of that as well. So
Reforms like what?
Well, there is how to make the private sector, how to make it the investment climate more attractive for the private sector. This has to do with making available land in the economic zones and in the Suez Canal zone. This has to do with legislation on how to set up companies, taxation. There are many different steps to be taken. I mean, a lot has been done already, yeah? But I think the purpose of this conference is for the private business, for the private sector to tell their Egyptian counterpart what more could be done to bring even more investment. I think that's the real philosophy of this conference.
Do you think that the new European Parliament will agree the loan for Egypt?
My crystal ball has broken. No, but look. There is a strong interest in cooperation with Egypt. We see Egypt as a strategic partner, and I think there is no question across the whole political spectrum. Again, by simply seeing where Egypt is and what Egypt is, a very important country in the Eastern Mediterranean. Of course, your biggest asset for us, for sure, is the Suez Canal as a transportation route. So there are many aspects of Egypt that make Egypt strategically important, and I'm sure this is supported by the majority of people in the European Parliament as well, not only among the member states but also in the Parliament.
Legal immigration is one of the must topic in this conference.
Yes.
Is there any new agreement about migration?
We have just agreed, or we are about to agree with Egypt on a project that is fighting smuggling and trafficking of human beings. This is, I think, a very important agreement. We have also agreed with Egypt to provide support for its search and rescue operations in the Mediterranean, so that this is dealing with the migration flow itself. But more importantly, we will invest a lot in vocational training, in preparing people to find jobs and work. Member states have also entered into agreements with Egypt on seasonal workers. Greece, for example, Cyprus just a few weeks ago, that a certain number of Egyptians can go and work in European countries. So it's a broad package. It's not only migration itself; it's also mobility for Egyptians. No? So there is support to people who are coming to Egypt, who seek refuge in Egypt. I mean, Sudanese, Yemeni, and people from East Africa. There we work with the United Nations, in particular with UNHCR, and with NGOs like Caritas, who provide assistance. The other part is actually fighting the smugglers and the traffickers, because many people still lose their lives either in the desert or in trying to cross the sea. The third, so there's also search and rescue, very important. And as I said, the third big component is opening up legal ways of entering, of finding jobs abroad. And this has two components. One, to enhance the skills, but also for those who have already skills acquired here in Egypt, to make sure that their qualifications are being recognized. So there are different ways of doing this.
The EU will help in creating some migration centers for the Sudanese and so on, the refugees here in Egypt, just like the migration centers in Greece, for example?
No, we are not involved in that. I think that is done by UNHCR. They have their registration center. I think there's one in Sheikh Zayed, if I'm not mistaken, a big one where Sudanese can register. No, we are supporting UNHCR by providing financial assistance, cash assistance to migrants. I was a few weeks ago. I was in Alexandria visiting the UNHCR center, but also Caritas, and they were handing out cash cards, I think, to migrants. I think that's where we are at the moment, but not on the centers themselves.
Egypt will start from tomorrow to deport any illegal migrant here in Egypt, have no permission to stay in Egypt. Is this one of the agreement between EU and Egypt?
No, we're not involved in this. No.